Okay, now we can actually expand some of these areas now that both rail lines are in place. So, keeping in mind, we are kind of close to the downtown, so I don't want to go too much to the south because I want to leave some room open for what we're going to do there. Oops. Yeah. This is a new drinking game. Whenever you see me screw up the roads, color of the roads in an area, that's your cue to take a drink. Even this whole road is wrong because, remember, this was originally not a town. This is a road going through, and then I put the town here. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes, because sometimes merging train lines onto the same track does cause problems. Oh. Yeah. Before we do anything, let's make sure we've got adequate power hookups. Very important. Okay. Anyway, I think we are going to add a little bit. See, our demand for everything is shooting up, so that's pretty cool. I think just a minor street is going to be enough for this area. And we want to, you know, they do want some commercial demand. And I think having commercial right by the train is logical and something that you see. So, also let's smooth this out, make it a little bit more natural. There we go. And I don't mind making this a little bit of a, what do you call it, squared up area. I'm sure that's not the name for anything, but that's fine. We can invent words, we can do whatever we want. We are the dreamers of the dream, or whatever it was that Willy Wonka said. Okay. So, you know what? I feel a little bit exciting today. Let's make ourselves just a little bit of high-density residential. Because we are getting close to 10K, let's just celebrate with some of that. Not much. It's just going to be a hint of what's to come. But it will be a fun little hint. Throw some commercial, and then everything else can be residential. Oh, I almost forgot. Let's happily have ourselves a way to access this from this side. And before this commercial gets all developed, yeah, a way to do it from over there too. So yeah, people do not need to go all the way around to the other side to access the train station. They can simply get off on this side. So, positives all around for our wonderful people in our wonderful town. Let's throw down a light and increase the water. It's a nice town. Yeah, okay, good. Now, speaking of which, we also have this area, which is now connected to 2 tracks. I think what we are safe to do is take this, and it can go along the rail for a bit until it comes down here and hits that. And who knows, we might eventually have like roads going over and all sorts of other craziness, but for now, that will be what we do. And for cars, it's kind of a little bit inconvenient to get around. But I think that I have an idea here. What we're going to do, well, first of all, let's put some little side streets here, because they're not going to connect to anything, but they will happily connect to some development. And actually, let's... well, I can stay. That's fine. But I want to take this. And I don't know for certain whether these people are going to use this crosswalk or not, but I have the feeling that they might. So I want a way for people to be able to get between the two stations. Yeah, see that? There they go. And they're going to go a little bit, then the arms are going to come down. Oh, whoa, Mr. Truck. You are being a dangerous driver. You gotta watch yourself. Oh, look, do I see people coming? Okay, not yet. I think I saw some guy coming a minute ago, but what we're gonna do, this area between the rails, I think is good for some... Actually, this wouldn't be a terrible idea for, or a terrible spot for some sort of light industrial. Of course, you can't really zone light industrial, but it's between the tracks. I think we can get away with it here. And also, we don't have any other industry in this area, so I think that'll be okay. And yeah, let's develop this a little bit. Sometimes it's good to look and say to yourself, like, what do you see in this area? What do you see this area being used for? And I can't imagine this being anything other than just low density residential throughout here. So we will do that, although we will do certain things like zone commercial here, but then we will continue to zone. Although, like I said, let's make sure that we give them some amenities so that they don't freak out at us. I think that's very important. Commercial by the track. Some commercial here. And then residential. The big resi all over the place. Also, we probably should make sure we have an elementary school for our happy children. I hope they're happy. This seems like the kind of place where kids could be happy. And I think we're going to make this... Oh, look at that. That must have lined up with that when we were making it, because that was too perfect to be a coincidence. It's pretty cool how things like that work. I kind of want to leave this area open for now. Yeah, why not? We'll think of something to put here, or we could just put a big park. Yeah. Boop. How about it? I love that it just conforms to this hill. It looks a little silly, but I actually kind of like it. So we're going to have some walkways branching out. Oh yes, isn't that nice? Although I think if they want to get to the station, they will just go here, and that's fine. So let's tap down that, and now we'll leave this undeveloped. We'll just make a little corner store right here. Isn't that nice? We're already sort of getting some relevant development. Relevant development. That rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it? Speaking of which, let's happily flatten some area and just increase this commercial or this industrial zone, because I don't want people whinging about industry too much. I want to make sure that they just sort of have what they need so they don't freak out. When it comes to Summit Square, I think we're going to be building a whole new area, pretty much. Like up here is going to be sort of a secondary town, so to speak. Now, this road will indeed have to come out and go down here, I think. Because this is a natural way out, and we can just do this and that, and without too much fuss we get a very natural looking thing here. Oh, how nice. Boop. And it just connects right up. And then I think the other natural thing to do would be to make something that goes here. And so now we have another road coming here. And then up here on the hill we can build our new area. Now, I don't think it's cheating too much if we just do some smoothing. Just because it would be nice to be able to build some relatively unbothered communities that don't have like crazy slopes everywhere. You can even do like a sort of a pseudo grid. Yeah, I like that a lot. Boop. Some steeper streets like that are not bad. Now as for this over here, I don't think you're going anywhere. In fact, we might turn this into a park area, even. So, we can keep that the way it is for now. Or we can go ahead and actually just, we'll give it a little nook. And there's no way that we can put the big boy up here, is there? It's like we almost can, but we can't. So let's put this guy. A nice little hillside park. I think with things like this, like adventurous enough people can hike down the mountain. We want our citizens to be physically fit and able to transverse any kind of terrain. Sometimes the snapping actually can get in your way, and in that case you can just simply press this button, turn it off, and there we go. Turn it back on, and once again we're just going to imagine that this is some sort of stairway and not indeed a crazy thing. Yeah, just imagine that these are stairways. I mean, wouldn't it be nice if in Skylines 2 that was like a thing you could do, is like, oh look, we recognize the slope is steep, we'll do a stairway. And if anyone's wheelchair bound, never fear, you just have to go around and you can get in just fine over here. So, we're even wheelchair accessible. See? I'm thinking of everyone. Aren't I generous? Yes, I am. I'm going to answer my own question. I am very generous. Everyone gets their fill. So once again, a little bit of commercial by the station, by some intersections, and then let's put in some residential in these blocks. I am being a little conservative with just how much we do, because I don't want to upset the balance of things so much. They are wanting a bit more commercial and industrial, and we're going to have to find places for that to exist that will not throw off everything. And why not just slap a traffic light here, and one here, and one here. I like putting down traffic lights, silly as it might be. So there we go. And I think over here by Victoria, the town that is possibly the least connected to its own train station, it just sort of sits there like a silly boy being like, oh, here I am, come use me. And we're all like, but you're out there. We don't want to come out there. Oh, we never... Ooh. Yeah, we don't want to toggle zoning. We don't want to mess with that. We want this. I wanted to just go ahead and put roads in logical places. And I think we can even work on this. Boop. Alright. So we have that going on. And I think it would be acceptable to build a road going up the hill. Where this goes, as of yet, I don't know. But we're just going to have the beginning up here. And look at this. Small roads. And, ooh, isn't this a spot for a road to go? It looks like, sure looks like one to me. So, it's going to go around. Up through here. And happily connect through there. Yeah, people are flowing pretty nice through this area. And let's do a little cheeky road here. Yeah, isn't that kind of cute? I like that. I like having fun with my cities. Yeah, there we go. Oh, isn't this a funny little spot? Alright, you are connected, although that really doesn't save that much time, but hey, time is money, I think. Isn't that what they say? I suppose it could be. Although, I like to think of time as time, you know? It is what it is. Almost want to put another intersection there, but we'll put one there instead. And like I said, I do want some more space for industrial, so we're just going to do this. Of course, it means that anyone walking into town is going to have to walk through a bit of an industrial hellscape to get there, but yeah, shrug. Okay. Where's that small playground? It's fun to put them near elementary schools. I think it's very good for the kids. And like I said, I want to be conservative on the residential. So we'll just fill out this much. Leave everything else to future development. Isn't that nice? I kind of like how this is like a wedge and then it just sort of spreads out as you get away from the end here. So there we go. A fun little area for development. Alright, the time has come to build the southern line, the last one on here. So let's go ahead and do that so that we can have a completed trio of railroad lines. Now this one will begin a curve over here, and if you recall our MS Paint drawing, we're going beneath the city and we are coming out at the other side. So how about we think ahead and put some stations here. Now I don't want to obscure the waterfront too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make these underground. Like that. And like that. So that way we will have an underground section of track that will not obscure the view of the water through the majority of the city. Because I wanted some sort of access here. I want to use this in some way, but I don't know what yet. Now, we do have a bit of a... there is a bit of a gap between stations if we don't put one here. There's nothing here for now, but like I said, you know, there's that will change. We are building organically after all. So this area is pretty flat, but why go pretty flat when you can go completely flat? Oh yes. So we are going to make this road sneak through here. And like I said, these at-grade crossings, if they ever do become problems, which might happen if we have to increase the rail traffic any, then we will make bridges of various types. So we'll have this come around in a gentle curve. Sneak back around and connect. So yes, both of these two roads heading out of town are going to feature a level crossing. But I think people will be able to deal with that just fine, at least for now. So we need one in the Robin district, and we need one back here somewhere. So I think it's most logical. This looks like a goof, actually, believe it or not. Whoever designed the city, I think, misclicked over here. So in recognition of that being a goof, let's just... yeah. I kind of wanted to keep it anyway, but nah, we're going to eliminate it. Look at how happy they are. Yay! Our rail line to connect ourselves. So we're going to have a pleasant little line going over here. And once again, let's make things nice and flat. I shouldn't say flat, it's actually very slowly sloping. But in any case, we'll have it. I am looking forward to building this downtown. Remember, 20k and we begin working. This sort of banks inwards, and I'm not sure if I like that. So let's do that. You can go to here, and then the curve becomes a little bit more pronounced. Alright. Like I said, it's very likely that we're going to be doing some sort of other train coming along here, so there may be some side things connecting here. In recognition of that, I might actually just want to go ahead and make them now. Because it always is good to build with growth in mind, even when you're doing organic. You know, people do understand when you build that you're not just building for the present, you're building for the future. So I imagine these people would have an inkling of the future in store for them, so yeah, why not do that? And once again, on the other side, I think this one, when it's built, is going to go down the shoreline, whereas this one is going to go up. So we are going to just make that a reality right now by doing this, basically mirroring what we did on that side over here. And good. Alright. Always making sure at every stage that we actually see the track connect, because if we don't, things won't work. And once again, this may create some traffic problems in the future, so if it does, we may have to construct a second station somewhere. But we're going to hope that that doesn't happen. And also, I think I want this to start bending over here. And I'm thinking that we want this to run right by the mountain over here. So that way, it's out of everyone's way. And yes, I'm sure there is opportunities for more tracks along here, or more stations, I should say. But for now, we're just going to have it straight and level, pointing back. Yes, there is some land beyond here, but that's alright. Okay, so once again, clone that. Oops, no. Clone that. I get these tools mixed up sometimes. But yeah, we're going to have a bit of a road out, or it's a little far from the center of the city, but I think it's going to be okay. People will walk to here along this road to the other station, although in preparation for increased traffic, we will slap down a traffic light. So we'll put this right here. Make sure we can build this safely. And there we go. Curving gently. Have the curve meet from the other direction. Look at how that looks. Elite, isn't it? Now, there's no city over here yet, but that doesn't prevent me from going ahead and at least making a railroad, making a track out there. Because even future looking people will be like, something can be built out there, and will someday. So we'll lay the track for future expansion, and when that day comes, we will have everything in place. I feel like we can even put it to the end of the world. Whatever we don't need later on, we'll rip up. But yeah, for now that's only a few stations. So that's going to be pretty good. Now, we need to build the station, and like I mentioned over here, if we start it here, the trains will all keep to this track. Yeah, much of this isn't going to be useful to start, but it will grow into its own usefulness. And I think this one we will have be right in the middle of the color spectrum. Right here as the gray line. Yes, indeed. And why not name it the gray line? Spelling gray the American style, of course. And you can see the trains are appearing. Here they are. Rather nice. And if you look over here, you can see what I said. The trains don't actually bump into each other. Because this track goes here, that track goes down here, and it's all nice and smooth. We can even take a look at the trains per week. Of course, the gray line just started, but the white line is winning over the black line. And yes, as expected, neither one of them is overwhelmed yet. But if and when that day comes, we will be ready. Alright, and now that that is done, I think we can begin expanding. Now this road's already getting quite busy. So, it might be appropriate to make our first ever stretch of a wider road here. Do I want to go all the way out to one of these? I think not yet. What I will do is come and find this road, and for the very first time, grow a road in the city. Oh yes, this at least does remind me of the SimCity 4 Days, because that kind of road can just be grown like that. And why not put a thing here? People are walking over here too, but we will take care of that when we build other train routes. Anyway, now we have a nice little traffic light here where we have traffic turning left or going straight. And that should help with some of the capacity. Isn't that neat? I like that a lot. So, like I said, now that we have these stations put in, why not celebrate with some new zoning? Uh-oh. Cannot forget that. Actually, you know what? Ooh. Yeah, there we go. Why not go with the pattern that we've created here? And there is a slight rise here, actually. So we might want to incorporate that somehow. I do want to build this road. Let's do this correctly this time. Yeah. Now we're making a large expansion on this side of the city. And if I do this, we can make a road that goes like that, and nobody has to be annoyed by anything. Isn't that nice? And a nice little connection for these people. As you can see, we have people getting on both sides of this platform, and if we go here, we should be able to tell that yes, they're color coded for two different colors. The gray and the black don't show up the best, but you can tell what they are here for. So, pretty cool. Let's throw down some streets now. Also, there was one little thing I wanted to do. I noticed just a road that really wanted to be made between here and down here. So why not do it? And we will put it on fast mode, I think. Alright, and here we are coming in for the final section. A little bridge over, and down. There we go. It just seemed like this was a road that was destined to exist. Don't know how to explain that other than I just did. So here it is, and here's someone using it. Mr. Ambulance, who is going over to here. So yeah, even this city, it's going to be a shortcut, sort of making this little connector redundant, but there will still be reasons for it to exist. So we will just allow it. Okay, so we never did make zones here. Before we do that, I do think that this road would come up, curve our way up, connect. I also think we'd have that, so it would actually come up and connect to this road. So let's just make it curve gently over to here. And perfect. Isn't that nice? I think so anyway. Also, one thing I wanted to point out that I did down here was I created this little fence sort of contain the zoning in here. And yes, I know that there's this tool here now where you can do that automatically, but I am from the old school when that didn't exist, so I like making fences. Anyway, we are going to help the commercial demand that exists right by the train station here, like this. And then we are going to, well, we'll put commercial demand here too, but then we'll fill in residential everywhere else. Just because I'm pretty sure people are going to want to live near the train station and get on it to go places. Places of great excitement, like these other wonderful cities that we've made. Oops. Yeah, we need to redo that, I think. Oh, traffic jam. I don't know what I did that caused that to undo itself, but it's fixed now, so we're all good. This intersection close to there might be a problem, but if it is in the future, we will find a way around it. Oh man, I tell you what, the more I do, the more ideas I get. So if any of these episodes start to get long, that just means I am full of ideas. But anyway, let's work on building up some more of this. Now, we have a new city, or a city that needs a little bit of attention here, a little bit of growth. Now, I don't want to go too nuts here, but I do think it would be a decent thing to do to grow this. And I want to keep this on this side of the station. Like, I don't want to keep it. I want to reserve this area for other uses in the future. Not sure what yet, but we're just going to do it that way. So let's build some peaceful developments down here. And why not just do that? It's a nice little corner here. And people do want some industry and commercial. This town seems like too quaint for commercial or industrial though. So what we will do is we'll put some commercial here on the road area. Grow the residential. And then what we're going to do is come up to Clown Town, which is too clownish to be worried about such things as fretting over industry, and build this clownish farmland over here. So we're just going to happily extend this zone. Also, this is not powered, so that's annoying. But we are going to extend our reach to here. I think what we're going to do is turn this into more farms. More weird, silly farms. And some commercial, as you can see. No need to not do that. Whoops, that made it silly. Alright, there's our big commercial drag. Now let's throw down some farms. And yes, I'm aware that this isn't really the best use of land near a train station, but I do predict there will not be much difficulty in getting people to walk from here to the other station, or into town, as their preference might be. So I think that's going to be pretty peaceful. And just because I don't want things to be too unbalanced, let's make a little bit more residential in the upper end here. Just a little bit. Very friendly. So that's quite the expansion onto Clown Town. Sounds pretty nice. Now if you look at the population of our city, we are over 10,000 already. And I said I would start developing the capital at 20,000. So we're probably going to get there before you know it. There are some things that I want to do to get everything ready for that point. So we're going to be doing some of that very soon. But I'll leave you in suspense as to what it is. Now, this episode is already a marathon and will probably be split into 2 parts or something, but I think it would be fun to watch some of these new trains, so why not do that, and also turn on some dramatic weather. So, here we go. our city, and through turning on the day and night cycle, we finally found out which way east is, and that's out here. So we are facing the east when we look in this direction. Pretty cool. And we've got some fog going on. So dramatic weather is very fun. Now, let me fix a little problem I noticed while we were on the train. And yeah, you can even see the glare of the sun. The sun's up there somewhere, but we can't pan up to it. But yeah, there we go. Our misty city in the morning. Doing quite well, I think. Join us next time for more fun.